To start off my speech, I'd like to quote one of my favorite childhood characters, Winnie the Pooh. While doing a little perusing through Facebook this winter when I probably should have been studying, I came across the following. If there ever comes a day when we can't be together, keep me in your heart, I'll stay there forever. At the time, I thought it was really sweet and heartfelt enough that I saved the picture the quote was written on. Last week, as I started typing these very lines, I remembered the quote that I had simply shared with my parents and forgotten about. When I again came across the picture, I realized it was meant for a time like this. I have often heard my mother say that a parent's job is to raise his or her child to be able to send them off on their own. In a sense, we all did this for each other. Our class has grown more united and strong throughout our schooling. The students and faculty of the Madawaska School Department gave us the tools we will need in life. But I believe it is our duty to come back, to never forget the place that gave us a chance. Last week, at the Academic Awards banquet, Mr. Sirwa announced the community member, Mr. James Wetmore, being honored for his work to help the school. As I talked about this with my parents, I thought about what it would be like for one of my classmates to win the award in the future. In some ways, it could be one of the greatest honors imaginable because the community that raised you is saying it feels as though you have given back more than you ever received. For some of us, Madawaska will just be the place we grew up and visit every now and then. But for others, it could become a home we pour our souls and love into. The thing about our little Acadian town is that everyone is welcome here, but we all have a responsibility to help it prosper. This community is the only home I've ever known. The people sitting behind me have allowed me to grow into the person I am today. The people sitting in front of me, who have to go to school tomorrow, have had to put up with my inability to use as much time as possible to take tests, my endless questions. I actually went to see one teacher a day, at least, and my attitude that nothing was ever good enough. I truly believe that no matter how low you start out on the totem pole, if you just keep whittling away at the difference between you and your goal, you will reach it. For example, just this week, we all learned how to march, and tonight, we had a fairly successful entrance down the aisle on step. But every day this week, we kept practicing. Mrs. Wetmore kept making us start over, and we kept improving. As we walk back down the aisle tonight, I hope we won't just keep the people and places in our hearts, but also the idea of this place. The feeling you can only get when a complete stranger, who's probably your fifth cousin twice removed, holds the door open, or cheers on your friend in the Acadian Festival betteries, or simply offers a warm and hearty hello. I am truly thankful to each and every one of you. And now I have a little something that I'm thankful for each of the teachers I had this year, as well as Mr. Dugal and Mrs. Flores, since they're retiring. So first, Mr. Tackett, for teaching us that even when things are tough, they can always become more difficult. Mrs. Boucher, for being reasonable yet demanding. Ms. Bechard, for truly caring about her students and their education at our school. Mrs. Boucher, for teaching us about the financial decisions we will make until the last day of our lives. Mr. Rosenbaum, for teaching my favorite class, Global Studies. Mr. Kelly, for reading our hopeless college essays. And Mr. Duga, for dedicating his life to his students. And also Mrs. Flor, for caring about us as if we were her own children. Alors, vous pensez peut-être qu'une fille avec le nom de famille Tingley ne parle que l'anglais, mais je tiens à vous dire que vous avez tous fait un bon travail, comme nous disons dans le ballet, un bon job. Parce que j'ai appris le français non seulement de ma mère, mes professeurs de français, et de vous tous, mais j'étais bien chanceuse d'être impliquée activement dans le programme d'immersion français quand j'étais plus jeune. Lastly, I would like to thank my friends, parents, and family for all of their support. And of course, thank you to all of my teachers. teachers. À vous tous un grand merci et bonne nuit.